got my my dragon skin plane out. Just go along on the edges, you know, stay on the either side of the groove. Stake down the lumps and bumps, and basically that's it. And then clean it out, and we'll do some, I'll fill the, put some tape on the outside where the bolt holes were, so I can wet out with straight mixed epoxy the seal off those internal edges so I don't get any water or rot in there. Okay, we want to sand down the edges a little bit, rough them up. It's been more than 3 days. Normally System 3 will say that if you apply epoxy over one layer over another, if it's less than 72 hours, you still get a chemical bond, but it's been about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, almost, well, tomorrow will be 2 weeks since I put the Gel Magic on. So it's completely cured, and now we've got it all sanded out, all the tape removed, and all the lumps and bumps are taken off. And then now I'll go ahead and then fill in the, put tape on the back of the holes and give it another coating of straight mixed epoxy on any bare spots in the grooves and in all the where the bolt holes are covered. As you can see, tied down again, squared up on my stern cords. Tied down sideways. Got my holes all filled with a little blue tape along the sides, and all I have to do now is straight epoxy the seams, get all the bare spots done, and then get the easy. Okay, we're going to start filleting the seams on this hull. Start out with a new cup. Put in, we're going to be making 3 ounces at a time, 2 ounces of A and 1 ounce of B on the EZ-Fillet. So mark your cups so that you have something to measure to. I'm not going to go into this very deeply because I have plenty of videos earlier on. You should go back to near the very beginning of all my videos and work your way back again, because I go into more detail on mixing this stuff and tamping it down. I'll probably be putting in some more things there too. Also start out with a couple new tongue depressors, one for each of the A and the B, so that you don't mix them up, and then once you get them into your cup, have a separate mixer that you keep by itself. And we'll go into our can with the plastic bag over it, which I've done several videos earlier, so go back and review those to see what I'm going along with. And today I'm going to be using this this putty knife. I'm going to be having flat edges. It's 1.5 inches wide, and I've taken some sandpaper and already cleaned up the edges so I know it's good, and then do a little bit on the edge so that they're rounded and you're not scraping into the wood. It's okay to have a little scrape on the wood, but you can't do that in glass. So always have these tools just a little bit rounded over. So I'm going to go ahead now and start make a mix up, and then we'll continue on. The other thing you want to have is some cardboard containers, or some cardboard on the inside, so later put your tools and bag down on so that it's not dripping all over the clean surfaces. So we'll go back in and I'll mix and we'll come back. Okay, let's just start laying down a bead like that. See it, I guess. And have your cardboard handy, and then I marked a radius on a piece of plastic. And I'm hopelessly lost with that one. That may be too big. Okay, I'm going to have to add more, lots more. always nice to have your radius material available ahead of time. I thought I had the right one, but I guess I didn't. A little light right in there and right in there. I like to give my bows a nice big thick coating. Force it in there. I'll come back later after this sets and finish out the corner. Usually up in the upper wire here, I let that be until I get ready to do the breastplate or the breast hook. Okay, I'm going to change over to another tool here and pull up some of the excess on the side and put it where I'll need it later. If you're going to be doing a boat where you're going to stain it, then all this stuff has to be masked off. Okay, I've switched over to a wider blade, and you kind of have to work the transition by hand a little bit. I wanted at least this much fillet on the seam, and just keep coming back until you got it nice and even. And the other thing you want to make certain, you know me, I want to make certain things are that you're centered over the crack. So watch the edge of the putty knife as you go along with the edges of one of these lines that we put in earlier. Use that as your guide. Okay, now you've got to transition between the wider knife here coming in and one of the smaller ones. I'll fix that up with coming in the other direction. It'll slump in if you pull it just right, and some of that will sand out, and when you put on the glass tape, that'll make some changes too. It'll fill in any voids, any high spots that the glass tape will span. The epoxy will go underneath and fill it, or pool underneath and fill up the void. Just grab some fill material, just kind of drag it along, and then come along and clean up your edges.